take enough paint off next time?
I'd say I've probably done about 200, 250 spot welds so far. I think by the time I've finished, I've probably got about another 1,800 to go. So.
A day later, Lizzie has to get her dad to look at a problem with the car.
Why is that?
Lizzie has found the new spot-welded front section panels don't line up as they should with the old rear body, leaving a big gap that shouldn't be there.
You've got problems if that was the case, because that... something is twisted on the car.
Oh my God.
What have you done? The car is twisted by a centimetre, which realistically it's quite a bit for the car to be out of square. This is major problems. If this is bent,
I know.
This could be a big setback. Lizzie may have to break apart all the hundreds of spot welds to get the car square again. That's weeks of work down the pan.
Nothing's going to line up. Your door gaps will be all out, and if you can't get it square, you might just as well chuck it in the scrap heap.
I want to anyway.
Cut your losses and scrap it now, or the joys of restoration.
Next time.
Oh, keep the tape straight when you're doing it.
Tensions rise as the problems get worse.
Oh God, if you're going to do it, you've got to do it properly.
I know!
And as Lizzie hits rock bottom, is her project about to hit the buffers?
Well, I've had a day in the garage today. I'm absolutely sick of the bloody thing. It's really beginning to piss me off now.
There's another wreck tonight being done up by the wheeler dealers. Keep it Discover Real Time then in half an hour. Boyd Coddington has to do some quick thinking in American Hot Rod.
I've been involved in classic car restoration for a number of years now, and the one thing I've always found really sad is the fact that so many potentially brilliant projects end up started but never finished. They're left abandoned under tarpaulins and on axle stands simply to rust in peace. So, I've decided to put my own restoration projects on hold for the time being, and over the next 12 months my mission is to help inspire and motivate some other enthusiasts to actually achieve their restoration dreams. 5 very different projects, all with fixed deadlines, and the clock's ticking. Coming up, this pile of rust was once a 1959 Frogeye Sprite. 20-year-old Lizzie Bartlett is determined to bring the car back to life, but she's had to scrap most of it, and what's left is proving a nightmare to restore.
I see you've got some major problems here, Liz. If you can't get it square, you might just as well chuck it in the scrap heap.
Lizzie's been hard at work in her tiny garage for nearly 5 months. She's a few weeks behind her 10-month schedule, but she's finished rebuilding the engine bay, bulkhead, footwells and floors. Despite being a novice, her work is very impressive. She's now started the rear end, but there's a big problem.
If you just measure...
The car is out of alignment. It could be a major setback.
Oh, keep the tape straight when you're doing it.
With her dad's help, Lizzie needs to carefully identify exactly what the problem is and see if they can solve it.
Oh God, if you're going to do it, you've got to do it properly.
I know!
So the front of your car...
After an hour of precise measuring, they reach a conclusion.
So, the front of the car straight, that rear bulkhead straight. So that means that the original car, on the whole of this back end,
It's been like...
is 10mm low
down that end.
on that side.
The bad news is that the rear of the body shell appears severely twisted. It's not down to Lizzie's welding, but the problem still needs solving.
When I start to rebuild the back of the car, I've just got to remember that I need to lift it by a centimetre on the left-hand side, just basically so it fits level all the way across.
Well, that's easier said than done. This will definitely take extra precious time off the schedule.
I'm really relieved, and I'm not going to send it to the scrap metal place anymore and get it squashed.
That's good, but there's another problem. Lizzie desperately needs a new bonnet. The old one is shot with rust. Original steel bonnets in good nick are very rare. Lizzie's been searching for weeks. At last, she could be in luck, and it's at a good price.
That's the £250 one.
Yeah.
The only thing is, this guy lives in Wales, so...
Well, you have to go pick it up. Well, the thing is, time's getting on. I'll have to give him a ring and have a trip to Wales. Are we supposed to go left or right?
I'm not sure if that means...
Lizzie's trip to Wales is crucial. Without a bonnet, the schedule will slip further behind.
If I get there and it turns out to be no good, I don't really know what I'm going to do, because there's no way I can afford a brand new one, and you just don't really find that many about. You can get fiberglass ones, but I want to keep it all original. Oh, I hope it's good.
So do I. What do we think, Liz? Oh.
It's loads better than mine. It's got its face. My car will be complete.
The 500-mile round trip has been worth it. Or so Lizzie thought. A month later, Lizzie's fixed the alignment problem at the rear end and started prepping the shell for painting. And as for her lovely Welsh bonnet, well, not so lovely, as it happens.
When we actually offered it up, it didn't sit right. So that was really, really frustrating, knowing that we travelled 4 hours to Wales and then came back and it didn't fit properly. So we had to try and bend it, didn't we? And I had to sit on one end, and then the wings were slightly out, so they sat slightly over the outer sill, so we had to bend those to make those fit. It was just something that I thought, yeah, go to Wales, pick it up, they'll all be the same, they'll fit straight away, but it didn't.
Like so many restorations, it seems to be one problem after another. All solvable, but it all takes time.
At this time now, I'm supposed to be... Well, my car's supposed to have been sprayed. In ex-primer, rubbed it down. In primer, rubbed it down. The top coat. I was supposed to have... I had a catch-up week to do any extra work that I needed to do. A bit behind, but...
It has been hard going.
It just feels like I've been doing the bodywork for ages, and it's just the longest part of just doing the car, and it just seems to be dragging.
You're getting close to spraying the exciting bit.
I think as well it's because at the end of the day when it's finished, I want to be able to say that I've done it all myself, so I think it will be worth it at the end.
Lizzie's absolutely adamant that her and her dad are going to do every part of their Frogeye restoration, but if DIY restoration isn't your thing, then you're going to have to pay somebody else to do the work for you, and it could cost you more than the car's worth when you're finished. So my advice is to shop around to make sure you get the most for your money, and don't just think locally. It may pay you to look further afield. Dzień dobry, which is Polish for hello. Why Poland? Well, this could be the answer to cash-strapped restorers who've started coming here with their knackered cars. There are a growing number of garages keen to take on your restoration projects, but how good are they and how much could you potentially save? Well, I'm about to meet a British enthusiast called Keith Adams, who's brought his car here to find out. Keith has travelled over 900 miles to see if he can save the love of his life.
It's a 1976 Rover 3500. I've loved them since I was a child. They're beautiful, they push all the right buttons, and I paid a couple £100 for it, the idea being to save it.
Keith's gone to all the effort to bring his Rover SD1 to Poland, hoping to save a whole heap of cash. He's chosen this particular garage after other enthusiasts recommended it.
Yeah.
First, the car gets the full inspection. Like all SD1s, it's riddled with rust, and Keith only wants to restore the bodywork.
I've seen quite a few restorations come out of here, and they've all been good, so... Obviously a bit of a language barrier, but there seemed to be an international language